What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. My name is John. Today, a 6-month review of the Trek FX2 disc 2023 in Viper Red. I picked this up at Trek, my local Trek store. It was $7.99 retail. This bike is on sale on Trek's website for $699, but I suggest paying full retail. So that's what I did. After tax, it was $850, and then I also paid an extra $50 for the lifetime flat. I paid a total of $950 for this bike. Even though that's a minor thing, maybe a stupid thing to pay for, a lazy thing to not want to change my own flat tire. But at the end of the day, it's unlimited flats, and this is such a finely tuned bike. I really do prefer a professional changing the flat tire for me, so that whatever the case may be, there are zero deficiencies riding the bike. So anyway, I digress. After 6 months, let's go ahead and talk about what I like and dislike about the Trek FX2 disc. Now, let me start off by saying, in order to produce or manufacture a Trek bike, to offset the carbon emissions during the production process for each bike, you need to ride the bike roughly 500 miles. So I figured today would be a good day to make this review, because roughly 6 months later, I would say that I have ridden the bike at least 500 miles, if not more, probably have more. I do commute with this on a day-to-day basis and also use it for running errands. I don't own a car, and also use it to exercise. So this bike is free and clear as far as carbon emissions go. I have basically offset the carbon emissions required to produce the bike, which requires that I ride the bike 500 miles, which I have. So this is a 6-month review and should also be a pretty good, thorough and in-depth video, and tell you pretty much everything you need to know about this bike if this is something you're considering buying. So let's go ahead and start with the first point I wanted to make. This is an FX2, which means it's a hybrid bike, it's a fitness bike, it's a crossover. This is a bike that you can ride in the road. You can ride this on light gravel, though I don't suggest that. This is mainly for pavement. You can commute with it, or you can exercise with it. This is a fantastic exercise machine. This is aluminum and weighs 25 pounds. So riding this bike over the course of 6 months, I went from weighing 205 pounds to 180 pounds. Do expect to lose 25 pounds riding this in the first initial 6 months of ownership. If you use it on a daily basis like I do, expect to lose in pounds, in body fat, in body weight, what the weight of the bike is. And subsequently, respectively, if you buy the carbon road bike like the Amanda, for example, which weighs as little as 15 pounds, then expect to lose in the course of 6 months riding this on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, expect to lose 15 pounds. So just wanted to throw that out there. This weighs 25 pounds, and using this for fitness, to get fit, to lose body fat, to build muscle, you can expect to lose 25 pounds because this bike weighs 25 pounds. At first, I was a little bit worried that maybe I was losing too much weight, but then I realized the bike weighs 25 pounds, and in order to pedal it and get through wind and get to where I need to go, it would require that amount of force, and so that's what I lost in body weight. So just wanted to throw that out there. The bike weighs 25 pounds, it's extremely lightweight. Sometimes I take this on the bus, I commute with this bike, and so lifting it up onto the bus rack is extremely simple and easy. And with the 735 millimeter tires, that makes that easy to do as well. Now, speaking of the tires, let's go ahead and take a look at the tread. Now is a perfect time to look at the tread after riding this bike for probably close to 1,000 miles. I commute with this on a day-to-day basis. I've ridden this, I've owned it for 6 months and ride it every day, and you can see the tread is in very nice condition. These are the sticky notes that I'm using for this video. You can actually see the depth of the sticky note inside the tread. The wheels are in great condition. I really like this setup here. Looking at the Specialized Cirrus 2.0, the 2022 and 2023 models have a reflector around the tire, which I do not like. I like how clean and simple this bike is, and actually, more importantly, most of the torque generated riding the bike, sitting on the bike, carrying things. I do commute with this. I do go to the grocery store, bring groceries home. This bike has a weight limit of up to 300 pounds, so it's a great bike for utility purposes, and you can see the back tire has worn pretty nicely as well. These are really good, high quality tires, and inside a good quality tube, I am assuming. I've had to inflate these tires a total of 2 times in the 6 months that I've owned them, riding them daily, and most importantly, city riding. I ride either in the road sometimes, but mainly on the sidewalk where it's not entirely flat. There's gutters and bumps that I go over, and this bike does a great job of handling that. The tires stay inflated pretty well. So even though a mountain bike would probably be better for, commuting in the city on a day-to-day basis, this bike does a pretty good job, and I think that is in large part thanks to the upper weight limit of being able to hold up to 300 pounds. So those are 735s. They are a combination of fast but comfortable. They can be slippery sometimes, riding through like a patch of dirt on the sidewalk, for example. Sometimes dirt accumulates on the sidewalk and I ride through it, and this bike will slide around. But I will say city riding can become exhausting. Eventually, after going over multiple bumps and through gutters and things like that, you do lose momentum on the bike, where a mountain bike would probably be better suited. That being said, for those times that I do need to ride in the road, in the bike lane, it does fairly good at that, even though a carbon road bike would be better. But the last thing I wanted to say about these tires, even though they are semi-slim is what they will refer to these as on Trek's website, going downhill, I do have a road bike with 728 tires, and this bike is slower going downhill. This is a pretty slow bike going downhill. I go down a couple of bridges at the beach and things like that, and I have experienced faster speeds. So all in all, this is a good all-around versatile bike, one that you can count on commuting with. Okay, let's take a look at the paint, because like I said, commuting with this, I also take this on the bus from time to time and I run errands with it. These bikes, they don't come with a kickstand, so you will need to lean it up against things like I do now. And what I can say is the aluminum here, this is a satin Viper red paint, which is beautiful, by the way, and it is holding up great so far. You'll actually remember, if you watched my live stream when I initially purchased this bike, one of the things that I love about this satin finish is how easy it is to maintain. So you've got some dirt on the back here, and you can see it just kind of wipes away really nice and easy there. But like I said, you will find yourself leaning this up against things, and this right here is actually a pretty good point where I lean the bike up against things, and you can see there's some paint chipping on the side. The good news is the paint is actually a lot tougher than I had initially thought. And also on Trek's website, you can buy a bottle of touch-up paint. It's $14.99, Satin Viper Red. The color code is TK400S. Don't spray. I don't recommend spraying the brakes with the WD-40. I completely avoided that, hopefully, but the brakes are great. All right, so I think the fourth segment of this video was to take this for a test ride. So we're actually at the park here. Behind me over there, there's actually like a gravel trail back over here. If you want to come along with me for that ride, I can change the gears a little bit and show you how the bike performs. And also, you'll notice it's pretty windy out right now, so you will get a good idea how the gears change, how smooth everything is. You can hear what that sounds like, get a good idea. If you've ridden a Trek bike before, you know it's mainly high quality parts. And also the bike, being aluminum, makes it easy to push through the wind. So you've got 18 speeds here. You can hear that wind. We're going right up against it. What I like to do is set the right gear high, and then we'll just click down on the, so we'll go up a little bit there. You can hear how nice that change is. And then we'll click on the left side and bring it down in the first gear, and it lightens up that resistance a little bit. And you can really just hear just how beautiful quality just everything is. It just has a nice zzz to it. Sometimes pulling up, it sounds like a small motorcycle. And you can see here, performs pretty well on the gravel. And not bad. So, like I was saying, you can get away with some gravel stuff like that, but I would say no more than that. Commuting with this is great. Sometimes though, riding this for long periods through the city, going 6, 7, 8 miles, you know, going over those bumps and gutters and things like that can really bleed the energy of the bike, where something like a mountain bike would be much better at helping you keep that momentum. But where this bike excels versus something like a mountain bike is if you ever find yourself in the road, this bike is more than capable of keeping up in traffic. And this Viper Red is actually great for visibility. So that will conclude this 6-month review. I've ridden this bike at least 500 miles. They say to offset the carbon emissions to produce the bike, you need to ride it 500 miles, which I have. So we are clear and free on this Trek FX2 disc, which means I should have little to no carbon footprint going anywhere I need to go on this bike. I commute with it. It's a great bike. It's a great fitness bike. This is just an all-around great, versatile bike. I talked about where you can get touch-up paint. It's $14.99. You will find yourself leaning this up against things and the paint chipping and stuff like that. We looked at how the tires wear. By the way, as far as replacement tires go, there is one other option on Trek's website. It is a Continental tire, I believe. That I do plan on trying, but so far so good. These tires have worn pretty well over 6 months riding this daily. So won't be for some time, I imagine, replacing these tires. But anyway, I do suggest paying full retail for this bike, not on sale online. I have experienced buying a bike on sale online from Specialized. It came damaged. It was difficult and exhausting working out the process to get that bike repaired. It was so difficult and exhausting. Specialized uses third-party stores. They don't have stores like Trek does. And so going through those third-party stores was just difficult. They were kind of these uppity, snooty, really, top-tier bicycle shops. They sold Cervelo and Pinarello and all of those, big, expensive bike brands, and they were just not eager at all to help me get that bike fixed. I ended up returning that bike from Specialized. It was a Cirrus 2.0. It was basically the equivalent to the FX2, and I ended up buying the Trek. My dad drives a Trek, so this wasn't my first option. I was like thinking I was 28 going on 58 buying a Trek, but in reality, this bike is phenomenal and it's addicting to ride. So after 600 miles or so, I've probably ridden this bike, if not further, and 6 months. That is everything I have to say about the Trek FX2. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the bike, leave a comment in the comment section below. I can pretty much answer most things. I haven't had any mechanical issues with the bike whatsoever, so I know really nothing about the mechanics of it. It has been absolutely phenomenal to ride. So, but as far as everything else goes, purchasing the bike, accessories, I've looked into all the accessories like the pizza racks and stuff like that, because like I said, this is a great utility bike. It has a capacity up to 300 pounds. You can use this bike to make money. I already ride this bike to work each and every day, but if I wanted to work for myself, do Uber Eats, be a pizza delivery guy, I could do that. I could be a courier, deliver packages around town. This bike can do that. It's versatile enough. But anyway, this is a great bike. I really hope you enjoyed this video, this 6-month review. 500 miles later. Go ahead and hit that comment section below if you have any questions about the Trek FX2 disc. This is the 2023 model. My name is Jonathan King. Again, so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.